Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0812 refers to an open circuit within the transmission range switch ATPR switch circuit in Honda Civic models from 2006 to 2011. This error indicates a failure in the electrical connection responsible for relaying transmission range data. The transmission range switch, typically located on the side of the transmission, plays a crucial role in determining the current gear position. Its proper functioning is vital for the vehicle's operation, especially for automatics, which rely heavily on accurate gear positioning. If this switch malfunctioned, it could lead to shifting issues or inability to start in certain conditions. It's worth noting that this specific trouble code cannot arise from mechanical transmission faults, emphasizing the need for electrical diagnosis steps outlined in the following troubleshooting process. The transmission range switch is pivotal for sending signals to the powertrain control module, PCM, about the current position of the gear selector. This switch helps the PCM determine whether the vehicle is in park, reverse, neutral, or drive. The DTC P0812 indicates an open circuit within the ATPR switch circuit, signaling that the PCM isn't receiving the expected signals. The switch is situated directly on the side of the transmission and interfaces directly with the vehicle's wiring harness. If there's an issue with the electrical circuit rather than the switch itself, it may not send accurate position data, leading to operational difficulties. Addressing this error involves a detailed diagnostic sequence to identify the root cause effectively. There are several potential causes for the DTC P0812 error. First, an open circuit in the wiring can disrupt the flow of signals between the transmission range switch and the PCM. Such an open circuit might result from damaged wiring or poor connections. Second, a faulty transmission range switch could be the problem, failing to accurately convey its position to the PCM. In some cases, there may be intermittent electrical issues causing the transmission range switch to work sporadically, which can complicate diagnostics. Each potential cause must be thoroughly evaluated during troubleshooting. Understanding these possibilities ensures a clear pathway to correcting the fault and restoring vehicle functionality. Drivers may notice specific symptoms related to the DTC P0812. One common symptom includes the inability to shift the vehicle properly, especially when transitioning between gears. This could manifest as stalling or inability to engage reverse. The check engine light may illuminate on the dashboard, serving as a warning that something is amiss. Additionally, drivers might observe unusual transmission behavior, such as harsh or unexpected shifts, which could lead to further complications if unchecked. Recognizing these symptoms is crucial, as they guide technicians in identifying the source of the problem and taking corrective measures to ensure safe operation of the vehicle. The first step in diagnosing DTC P0812 involves turning the ignition switch to the on to position to power on the vehicle's electrical systems. Once powered, shift the gear selector into the reverse R position. At this stage, a crucial check is performed using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to see if the automatic transmission reverse switch, ATR switch, is activated. If the ATR switch indicates on, it points to an intermittent failure, suggesting the electrical circuit may be temporarily operational. Conversely, if the switch does not register as active, it's necessary to proceed to the next step for further investigation. This initial process establishes a foundation for identifying underlying issues affecting the transmission range switch operation. In the second troubleshooting step, begin by turning the ignition switch to the lock 0 position to ensure all systems are powered down safely. Next, disconnect the transmission range switch connector, which typically separates the vehicle's wiring harness from the transmission range switch. With the connector removed, turn the ignition back to the on-2 position to re-energize the system. Use a multimeter to measure the voltage across specific terminals within the transmission range switch connector, specifically terminals number 7 and number 10. The expected voltage should exceed 5 volts for the circuit to be functioning properly. If the measurement is below 5 volts, this indicates an open circuit in the wiring, leading to the need for repair before moving on to the next steps of the diagnostic process. The third troubleshooting step requires checking for continuity between the transmission range switch connector terminals number 7 and number 10. This involves shifting the gear lever to the reverse R position and then testing continuity with a multimeter. It's essential to confirm continuity exists specifically when the shift lever is in the R position and no continuity when the lever is shifted to any other position. If continuity is achieved in the stated conditions, it suggests that the switch is functioning as intended and the issue may be intermittent or external. However, if continuity is not present when under these conditions, this indicates a faulty transmission range switch. The next steps will involve replacing the switch if necessary. The final troubleshooting step involves reconnecting all previously disconnected connectors to ensure a complete circuit before further testing. With all connections restored, turn the ignition switch back to the on second position. This prepares the vehicle for continued operation and allows for any further diagnostic steps to confirm whether the issue has been resolved. At this juncture, if it was determined that the transmission range switch was faulty in prior steps, replace it to restore proper function. Once completed, additional testing may be performed to ensure that the DTC P0812 no longer appears and that transmission operations return to normal functionality. This step is critical for validating all repairs and ensuring longevity of the vehicle's electrical system. Following the troubleshooting and any necessary repairs, the final verification process begins. It is essential to clear the diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, from the vehicle's memory using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to reset the system. After resetting, conduct a test drive of the vehicle to observe its functionality under normal operating conditions. Pay close attention to whether the check engine light re-illuminates and if there are any symptoms related to the transmission range. Monitoring the vehicle for any recurrence of the DTC P0812 is critical, as this will confirm the effectiveness of the repairs made. Successful verification signifies that the issue has been addressed properly and the vehicle is ready for normal use. To prevent the reoccurrence of DTC P0812 or similar issues, regular preventive maintenance is key. This starts with routinely inspecting the wiring harness associated with the transmission range switch for any signs of wear, abrasion, or corrosion that could lead to open circuits. Ensuring that connectors and terminals are not only securely fastened, but also free of corrosion will optimize electrical connections and prevent intermittent failures. Additionally, performing system diagnostics periodically with the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, can help catch any underlying issues before they escalate into more significant problems. Such proactive measures create an overall healthier electrical system and enhance the longevity and functionality of the vehicle's transmission system. In conclusion, addressing the DTC P0812 involves a series of systematic troubleshooting steps aimed at pinpointing the cause of the open circuit in the transmission range switch ATPR circuit. By following the established procedures, technicians can determine whether the issue stems from wiring faults, or a defective switch itself. It is vital to monitor the vehicle's performance after repairs to confirm the effectiveness of the solution. Additionally, conducting regular maintenance can prevent similar errors from occurring in the future, ensuring that components remain in optimal condition. Ultimately, adhering to structured diagnostic protocols not only resolves immediate issues, but also cultivates a culture of preventive care for the vehicle. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.